My future wife, they offered me money to leave you. Sounds wild, doesn't it? Sounds like something out of a cheap movie. Someone sitting across from me, looking me dead in the eye, and sliding an offer across the table like my heart is up for sale. But it happened. It really did. They thought they were doing me a favor. They thought they were saving me from you, or saving me from myself. I'm still not sure which one they really cared about more. They said things like, "You're young, you have time, don't tie yourself down." They said things like, "Think about what you could do with that money. Think about how easy life could be." Easy. That word made me laugh inside. Because life with you is many things. Beautiful, messy, loud, soft, but easy. No. And that's exactly why I'd choose you over 1,000 easy outs. My future wife, they offered me money to leave you. To walk away from the nights where you fall asleep talking about dreams you're too shy to say in daylight. To walk away from the way your voice sounds when you say my name, like it's yours to keep safe. To walk away from mornings that start with your sleepy hey and end with your laughter filling every quiet corner of my chest. They thought my love for you was something you could put a price tag on, something you could trade for freedom or comfort, or a life with fewer complications. But here's the thing they'll never understand. I don't want a life that's comfortable if you're not in it. I don't want simple if it means empty. I don't want pockets full of money if my hands feel cold, because you're not there to hold them. You're not perfect. Neither am I. You make me mad sometimes. You test me, push me, make me question things I thought I had all figured out. But you also make me better, softer, more alive. So when they asked, how much would it take to let her go? I looked at them and thought, there's no amount big enough to buy my heart out of the home it found in you. My future wife, they offered me money to leave you, and it reminded me exactly why I'm staying. You know what really got me? It wasn't even the money on the table, it was the way they said it, so calm, so sure I'd say yes. Like loving you is just some hobby I'll outgrow when the numbers get big enough. They looked at me like I was a fool for even hesitating, like I should have jumped at the chance to make my life better. But they don't know what better really means for me. Better isn't about more zeros in my account. Better is you. Half asleep on my chest, mumbling words I can't always catch, but never want to miss. Better is hearing you laugh at jokes only I get to hear, the ones you'd never say to anyone else, because they wouldn't know how precious your silly side is. Better is us, fighting sometimes, getting quiet, pulling apart, only to find each other again, because we know this thing is bigger than our pride. They said, think of your future. And I did. But my future doesn't look like new cars or bigger houses if your name's not written on the door with mine. My future looks like 2 toothbrushes by 1 sink. Your hair on my clothes that I pretend to brush off, but secretly don't mind finding later. My future looks like you stealing the covers, burning toast, losing your keys, asking me where I left my shoes. Because you always know where they are better than I do. So no money can't buy me out of that. Money can't buy me mornings where you roll over and say don't go yet. Money can't buy me the way you look at me when you think I'm not paying attention, like you're wondering how you got stuck with someone who'd move the whole world just to keep you warm. They called me crazy when I stood up from that table, told me I'd regret it when I'm older, and wiser and tired of the noise that love brings. But you're the kind of noise I'd grow old listening to, the kind that makes the world quiet around us. My future wife, they offered me money to leave you, and walking away from that offer was the easiest decision I ever made. You know what stayed with me the most? It wasn't the number they said. I barely even remember it now. It was the silence that came after I laughed in their face. The way they looked at me, like I'd just thrown away the biggest chance I'd ever get. Maybe to them, It looked like that, a chance to be free, to be richer, to be less tied down by a love they think is too heavy to carry forever. But you never felt like something heavy to me. Not in the way they think, your weight yes, but the kind that grounds me. The kind that keeps my feet on this messy earth, when my mind wants to run in circles. Sometimes I think back to the early days, when I didn't know you could wreck my plans with just one look. When I didn't know a quiet night with you, laughing at nothing, would feel more like home than any house I could buy with all the money they offered me. I know what they see when they see you. They see problems. They see risk. They see someone who takes up too much of my time, my thoughts, my future. But I see the way you save me from myself when I get too cold inside my own head. I see the way you remind me that being loved means letting someone see the parts I'd rather hide. I see how you look at me like I'm more than the noise in my mind, more than my mistakes, more than the things I'm still trying to fix. My future wife, they think they know what I'm losing by staying. They have no idea what I'd lose if I left. They don't know how you calm me down when the world gets too loud. How you forgive me when my words come out sharp, because I'm tired and stubborn and hurting, in ways I don't always say out loud. They don't know how you remind me to dream bigger than myself, but softer than my fears. I keep hearing their voices, telling me how much easier life could be without all this drama they say we bring, how I could be free, but they don't get that. I am free with you. Free in the way my heart slows down when you rest your head on my chest. Free in the way I don't have to pretend I'm always strong when your hands are in my hair, telling me it's okay to let my guard down for once. Free in the way we don't owe the world a version of us they approve of, because what we have is bigger than anyone's rules. So let them call me foolish. Let them think I'm a fool for giving up their money, their safe path, because they don't get what it means to sit in a quiet room with you and know you're choosing me too. Choosing me on my bad days, on my loud days, on my I'm not enough days. They don't know what it's like to be loved without conditions, to be wanted for who you are, not just what you can give. So when I stood up and pushed back that chair, when I said, keep your money, it wasn't sacrifice. It was freedom, because every plan, every dollar, every easy life means nothing if you're not in it to come home to. My future wife, they offered me money to leave you, and walking away from that table was the richest I've ever felt in my whole life. Sometimes I wonder if you'd believe it, if you saw how serious they were, how they leaned in, voices low, acting like they were handing me a gift I'd thank them for later. How they really thought they were doing me a favor, saving me from us. I almost wanted to laugh, but part of me felt sad too. Sad for them, for the way they see love, like it's a contract you can rip up when it costs too much. Sad for them, because they'll never know what it feels like to sit across from someone who holds your worst secrets and stays anyway. Sad because they've never felt the calm I feel when I hear your voice say, come home. Sad because they'll never see how your quiet love turns my loud storms into soft rain. They thought they were tempting me with freedom, but what they offered wasn't freedom. It was emptiness, dressed up as comfort. It was money to buy things I'd get bored of by next year. It was promises of easier days with no one to stay up for, no one to fight for, no one to lay my pride down for. You think I'd trade you for that? Never, my future wife. You're not my chain, you're my reason to stand still when I'd rather run. You're my reason to soften when my anger tries to turn me hard. You're my reason to sit in the quiet parts of my mind that used to scare me, because somehow you made them safe. Sometimes you look at me like you wonder if I'll get tired of the mess that comes with loving you. And I want you to hear this clear as day. I won't. I'll never get tired of your moods that change with the weather. Your laugh that makes me forget how heavy my shoulders feel. Your stubborn way of loving me even when I make it hard. They offered me money like it was some kind of golden ticket. But all I could think about was the cost of walking out that door without you. How much more expensive it would be to lie to myself every night that I'd be okay with your space empty beside me. Money can't hold me when my mind is too loud. Money can't roll over in bed and tug me closer just because you're half awake and miss me already. Money can't tell me, you're mine, and I'm not going anywhere, but you can, and you do. So no, there's no number big enough to make me forget how it feels to be loved like this. Imperfect, messy, real. My future wife, they offered me money to leave you, and that only reminded me why I'd stay